Why it's okay that we are destined to be alone. The fact that we are alone is one of the more embarrassing disclosures to make. The fundamental premise is that no respectable person could ever experience loneliness unless they had recently relocated across the nation or had become widowed. However, being a sensitive, intelligent person inevitably involves experiencing significant levels of loneliness. There are several significant reasons for this. It is a feature of a complex existence by design. The reasons are a lot of what we need others to acknowledge and confirm, and a lot of what would be incredibly reassuring to share will be upsetting to society as a whole. Many of the thoughts we harbor in our heads are too bizarre, contradictory, deceptive, or terrifying to be shared with others in a secure manner. When given the option between being honest and being acceptable, we understandably gravitate toward the latter. To listen to someone else and empathize with their situation demands a lot of energy. We shouldn't hold others accountable for failing to pay attention to who we are. Even if they are interested in meeting us, we should accept the enthusiasm with which they will keep talking about themselves. We must all die alone, which essentially means that we must bear our own suffering. Others may offer words of encouragement, but while we suffocate during our situations of difficulty, others, even the kind ones, are only slightly aware of our difficulties. It is incredibly rare that we will ever meet someone who has the same soul as us. We will yearn for complete compatibility, but there will always be lack of agreement because we were born at different times, came from different families, and had different life experiences and are not really formed of the same things. Therefore, they won't be thinking the same as we are. Instead, they might recall a terribly minute detail from their life at the exact moment we want them to recall something noble and beautiful, or the other way around. It's almost funny. The people who are best suited to comprehend us exist, but we will almost definitely never come into contact with them. They most likely once passed us in the street, though neither one of us had any idea that there might be a connection. Perhaps they would not be born until a few years from now, or they passed away recently. We just would have required a lot more luck. There is no planning to get through this. The more attentive and sensitive we are, the worse the situation will undoubtedly get. Loneliness is actually a price we have to pay to make up for some mental complexity. For a very long time, the desire to undress someone has been considerably more intense than the need to have a meaningful conversation. Due to our past irrational fascination with someone's extraordinary nose or eye color, we often find ourselves trapped in relationships with people we hardly speak to. Nevertheless, in spite of all, we shouldn't be alarmed or uncomfortable by widespread loneliness, because ultimately, no one understands anyone else. Loneliness isn't a sign that something is wrong with our life. Rather, it's what we should anticipate from the beginning. And when we do, advantages may come. Once we accept loneliness, we can become creative. Loneliness increases our capacity for true closeness. If better opportunities do arise, it heightens the conversation we have with ourselves and gives us personality. We don't just repeat what everyone else says, we form our own opinions. Although we may be alone right now, we can have much stronger, more intriguing connections with whomever we finally find. Almost always, enduring loneliness is preferable to enduring the compromises of fake society. Simply put, loneliness is a significant cost we pay for maintaining an honest, aspirational definition of what companionship is and should be.